I'm making my famous pasta salad. I just felt like yapping today. I don't know what about yet. I feel like I have like 5 different topics in my brain at once right at this exact moment. Smells like a cucumber. Must be a cucumber. I just like, the biggest thing that's in my brain right now is like, it just takes time, babe. Time really does heal all wounds. And that's like kind of hard to believe when you're like actively crashing out and not feeling good. I love the smell of a cucumber. So what's happening when I take in this PlayStation and I'm gonna use this little vegetable chopper. It's clean. It's just like water specks, okay? And I'm gonna chop this thing up. I've got my water starting to boil, or like it's beginning, so I just salted it. We're gonna take this chopper thing and we're gonna put it in this guy. And it's gonna be really loud and really annoying, but it's fine. So I used to really hate the fact that I like know, or not even knowing, but like I feel like when something bad happens to you and people tell you like, oh, it just takes time, you don't believe them. Like, it is so hard to believe that, even though that's really kind of the only advice to give in certain situations. It really does just take time. But like, that doesn't mean it's just like, you'll be fine, just get over it, it's gonna take a minute. It just means like, hey, while you're going through this, let me know what I can do, and know that it's not always gonna feel like this. And you just have to hold on to that. You have to have faith in that. And I think I'm really good at telling myself things. And then just like trying to believe it. And one of the things that, that was something that, you know, last year, no, was it 2024? 2024 is when my grandpa passed away. In July. I really struggled. Like, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna pivot. So, I think that, so basically, you have to be okay with feeling something for the time that it is going to take. Just like when you're sick, you have to just rest. When you are grieving something, you have to just be kind to yourself for that time. You have to just be patient and know that it's going to be fine. But if you are the kind of person that really struggles with that, like I was when I was smoking, that's like a really hard pill to swallow, and sometimes you don't want to swallow that pill, so you swallow a different pill. And that pill is, first of all, also legal. Like, I was smoking legal stuff. It's the stuff you get at the smoke shops. But don't do that, because it's not good for your brains. Multiple, plural, you have multiple, no kidding. But, like, it's just not good for your brain. It's not worth it. Anyway, so I really just, like, have been trying to figure out in this journey of quitting, you know, why do I do it? Because as I talked about in one of my other videos, you have to be able to, like, I was talking to a friend about this recently, about how, like, you don't necessarily win against, like, the fight of addiction or whatever. Like, you cannot reason with it. You just have to have a strong enough argument and a strong enough boundary. So it's not necessarily a fight, because they said something that was like, you know, you can't fight temptation. Like, you just have to walk away. Or you can't fight sin. You just have to walk away. And I agree with that. Like, I think it's not fighting when you put a boundary, right? So if someone is, I don't know, say someone's living in your apartment and you let them live there and you've been really chill about it, but they're making a mess and it's getting too much. and you say, hey, if you continue to make a mess like this, like, or first of all, a boundary is not what someone else does, it's what you do. You could say, hey, I cannot live in this messy home, like, and I cannot clean it. So I'm going to ask you to find another place to stay. That's not a fight. That's not an argument. You're not arguing with them about whether they need to clean or whether they're able to take on that load, whatever. It's simply, I am going to ask you to leave, which I guess, like, that's probably not the best example. Say you're in a toxic relationship, it's, I'm going to leave. Like, I can't handle this. I'm going to walk away from this situation. And then you walk away, you follow through. But, like, with temptation or with addiction, you kind of have to have that talk with yourself, which can be hard because most people, that are staying with you and want to keep staying with you, just like the little rat in your brain that wants to smoke, are going to say, well, but you do this and you do that and you leave the dishes in the sink and, I deserve to stay. I deserve this. I did this for you. They're going to argue with you. Like, unless this is a really mature person or, like, whatever, they're gonna want to probably argue back. And you have to be prepared to not argue. Because that really doesn't solve anything. You don't win anything. And so with your brain, you have to know and you have to be able, but it's different when it's you. When it's in your brain, you have to be able to recognize, like, ooh, I'm starting to argue with myself about this. I'm starting to... This thing is kind of tricky. I'm starting to feel like there's a voice that's saying that I need it or whatever. What do I do? You need to have a strong enough way to walk away. A strong enough brain to say, I'm not entertaining this. I'm done thinking about it. I'm not going to let myself go in this spiral because I'm going to cave. If I let myself think and I say, I'm not smoking anymore. I'm not smoking. And then the voice says, oh, but it's right there. And you could just go get some. And, like, you could just do tonight and it would be fine. Like, just let me stay one more night. Like, come on. I don't have anywhere else to go. Like, I'm jumping back and forth between analogies right now. But, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, hello? Addiction and temptation and things like that are very pushy. They're very sneaky and very demanding and smart. It made its way down your bloodline. Addiction did for a reason. It managed this far. So it's going to be pretty smart about getting in and staying in. And you have to be the one that says, nope, I'm not entertaining this. I'm not going to let myself think about it. Because if I let myself think about it, I'm going to cave. Because you're probably a pretty nice person. And if you are lacking boundaries and someone starts to make you feel bad or make you feel like you deserve to do what you're doing, or, that was what it was in my case. Like, I was using it as a form of escape. And so I felt like this is all I can do. Like, this is the only thing that's going to work. And I want it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Like, if you're able to reason with yourself about it, you might lose. Your chances of losing are much higher. So you have to be ready to not fight and to not make space for that. Like, I don't know if you have a family member that you know. I love my grandma, but when she gets started talking to me about politics, I just, yeah, because we don't agree on things, but I would like a relationship with her, and I love her, and she's my mom. She raised me, so, like, I'm not gonna get into an argument with her about things. we're just not going to agree. We're not going to see eye to eye, and that's okay. You know, at this current time, like, we do not have to. Okay. When I was in high school and things like that, I used to think we did. But now, I'm okay having a different opinion than her and just accepting that and moving on. I don't need to argue about it. Because it's just not gonna do anything productive. It's not going to help me or serve me in any way. So, bell pepper. My pasta's boiling. I'm also kind of like low energy because I think I'm getting sick and I think I'm about to start my period. So, yeah, TMI, but I don't really care. Everybody has them. Over half the world has them, so. Anyway, yeah, that's the thing for me too, is I'm like, every time I'm about to get my period or I'm on my period, I think that the world is ending and that everybody hates me and that I'm a failure. And sometimes I have to remind myself, this is just the way you feel right now. Give it literally like 5 days and then circle back to these. Okay, my cat's playing with the toy. Sorry, this thing I have to like slam it sometimes. Circle back to these feelings and then decide if you still feel like it. If it's still worth vocalizing this or whatever. Give it a minute. So like, give it time. You don't have to fight. You don't have to respond to every single thought in your brain. I sort of kind of have OCD. And not in like the quirky way, but in the like, I'm dying way. I think I'm dying way. And sometimes I have to remind myself, one of my favorite sayings was, a thought is not a fact. Just because you think it doesn't mean it is true. Just because you think something bad doesn't mean it's going to happen. Every single time I use my garbage disposal, I think about putting my hand down the garbage disposal. And it's not like I want to hurt myself or I, like, whatever. It's literally just like, what if that happened? And then my body reacts in a way that's like, and then I have to remind myself, that's not going to happen to me. Just because I think it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's literally just a thought. But you have to be, like, aware of your brain and be present in your brain and be able to have non-judgmental conversations with yourself in your brain. And then when you get to a point where you're like, okay, the craving is not, like, that bad that I think I'm gonna go smoke, but, like, I'm interested in having a conversation with myself about this. Maybe you can begin to understand why you want to do it. And for me, like I said, it was escape. Okay, that actually was scary, and not, like, an OCD thing, but an actual, like, this knife almost literally went, I imagined it going straight into my foot. That's scary. Anyway, I don't think I'm supposed to show that on YouTube. It's fine. I'm chopping vegetables. What do you want a girl to do? So yeah, I think that the best way to but the best way to navigate substance abuse and quitting specifically, because I think there are stages, and for me, there was the stage of doing it all the time, getting to a point where I didn't really like it, but then feeling like, I kind of have to keep doing this, because this is all I really know, and, like, then feeling like the feelings of wanting to do it, the feelings of not wanting to do it, because two things can exist at once, right? You can want it and also not want it at the same time. And I think the more time went on, the amount of how much I wanted to do it stayed the same, and the amount of how much I didn't want to do it grew and grew and grew and grew from Despicable Me. Anyway, until finally it was like, okay, like, it got to a point where I felt very separated. It's cut. Okay. I felt very, like, separated in my brain between the parts of me that wanted it and the parts of me that did not. And that like separation can be uncomfortable. Look at how beautiful and scrumdiddlyumptious. Right. Boom. Okay. If you're not kind to yourself during that separation, it can be tough. And I struggled a lot because I think I felt a lot of shame about the fact that I felt like I couldn't do it. And I'm not saying, like, just decide you can stop and then stop. It obviously is more than that, and every single person is going to be different. But, for me, it really took understanding why I was doing it in the first place to be able to stop. And I don't know. I think after enough times of wanting to, I finally got to the place where I did. And then it just became like, okay, I made the one big choice. Kind of tastes funny. I also have to cut up this cantaloupe. I don't have Tupperware for this cantaloupe. Do I have a bowl? Do I have another big bowl? I don't. Oh, wait, I do. JK. Well, I have that, and I have this. This is where I shall put... I didn't like that. There was like a teeny tiny little moth. I'm gonna wash this. One moment. Okay, cool. So anyway, I think you have to give yourself time to experience the whole thing in its entirety. You cannot rush any process, whether it is grieving, whether it is quitting a substance, whether it is getting over a breakup. You literally just have to be patient. And that is kind of like the hardest part of literally everything. I don't like being patient. I'm not good at it. Hold on. I have to drain this pasta. And I don't currently have oven mitts. So we're going to use these towels. And you're not going to make fun of me, because if you did, that'd be so mean. Don't do that. Pasta, it also doesn't have a handle. We're not talking about it, okay? I didn't ask for your opinion about that, so be nice. I'm going to drain the water without losing a single noodle. Hey, I did it. Okay, and then my workspace is absolutely bonkers right now. And then we're going to pour cold water in it, because that's what the directions say. But I kind of don't follow them part of the ways. My other blue bowl, as you can see in the fridge, is filled with spaghetti and meatballs, because I made that. And I'm going to bring some to my friend, because her niece just had to get her appendix out. So, I made some food. Okay, and I'm gonna do this again without burning myself. These are different towels than the ones I used before. Very little bread. Okay, I haven't lost a noodle yet. I've been really good. I'm gonna try and get all the pasta. I lost a lot of noodles. I just lost a lot of noodles, but it's fine. Okay, now while I have the bowl, I'm going to mix. This is, don't look at my lunchboxes either. Don't look at my lunchboxes either. You put the mix, you take the moon, and you take the sun. I throw some pepper in there because I like pepper. And then you throw some vegetable oil. You're supposed to like already have this mixed together, but I just do it like this because it does the same thing. Throw some oil in there. This is avocado oil. And then I throw some pesto into the mixture into like the other thing. Okay, I made a mess. It's fine. And then this spoon kind of sucks, but it's okay because nobody asked, again, for your opinion on my spoon or my kitchen utensils because I live alone and it's fine. And people like to eat my food, so I don't care. Although there's probably a more efficient way to mix this. This is how I do it. I just started cooking for myself the past couple months. So that's been really fun. And again, taking time. You have to be willing to give it... I lost a noodle. You have to be willing to let things take time because Rome wasn't built in a day, babe. Okay? It really wasn't. It took a long, long time. And, one of the things I actually wanted to say before I started rambling about nothing is that I forgot. I still have to try the chicken. Okay, mozzarella balls. Squish them up, throw them with the vegetables. The time will pass anyway. That's one of my favorite quotes. The reason why I like doing these videos is because I feel like I have had mindset shifts because of things I saw online that in like positive ways. Like I've learned from other people's experiences, and so I want to put my little thoughts out there, and hopefully at least literally one person can take something away from what I talked about and apply it to their life and feel a little bit better about it. My laptop's gonna die soon. Okay, well this is also 20 minutes, so I feel like this is a good wrapping point. I talked about nothing for a minute, I feel like. Anyway, the time is gonna pass anyway. So, like, be in the moment, be grateful, chill out, and do the stuff. Take the chance, grow, and party rock. Because the time is gonna pass anyway. So you can start now, or you can start in a year. But if you start now, then in a year, you will have grown so much. You won't even freaking believe it. Is this hot? No. So just like start. But also give yourself grace. Because it's not gonna, nothing changes overnight. And unfortunately, sometimes time really does just heal everything. And you have to wait. And you have to be fine with the waiting and the uncomfortableness. And it's going to make you stronger because you can withstand things you didn't even know. And the universe and God is going to keep giving you things to grow from. And it's going to be difficult and it's going to be painful and it's going to be uncomfortable. But the time is going to pass and you're going to come around on the other side. I have to go. Bye!